Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about all the books I own that I never plan to read. And this is quite sad because I just recently unhauled 200 plus books. I didn't count because when you have that many books, you don't want to count. When you're getting rid of them, it's quite hard. But I was doing the whole Marie Kondo method. So I got rid of 200 plus books. And so I was recently watching an anti-haul video, and it's a tag going around BookTube. I'll tag the creator of it below. And she was talking about it's all about books that you never plan to read. And usually it's books you don't own. And I realized I own a lot of books that would fit this. So I decided to do the tag, but kind of alter it so that it's books that I own that I never plan to read. And a bit about why I decided to keep them, or maybe why I should be getting rid of them. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, happy December! I didn't do my little intro I've been doing for every day of December. A popular book everyone loves, but you have no interest in reading. There are really two books that fit into this, and both of them don't really count. But, okay, so these are two books that I read, and I absolutely hated, but I keep because I feel like I should like, because that many people love them. You know, it's like that kind of thing. So the first one I read in England in one of my children literature classes, and I hated it, and it was really popular at the bookstore I interned at, and so I was like, what? And everyone in my class loved it, and I absolutely hated it with every fiber of my, like, one of the worst books I read that year. And that would be The Lie Tree by Frances Harding. It is about a girl, like 13, 12, 10, I don't know how she is, a young girl who is, it's like set in the 1900s, like that kind of time period, where there's this big clash between faith and religion and stuff and science, and the girl's name is Faith. Subtle, I know. And her father is like a professor type. I don't remember exactly what he does. This is like a terrible summary of this book, but this is what I remember. Maybe a scientist? I don't know what he does. And the book kind of starts with him getting outcast and going to this small place. And then there's a maybe murder. Someone dies, and then she's trying to figure that out. So that's kind of the plot of the book. Sounds interesting, right? It's not. One, it is not subtle at all. This has become a rant review of this book. But one, it's just not subtle. It's kind of overdone in a lot of areas where you're like, okay, I got it. Just like whack me in the head with the symbolism a little bit more, please. But also like the last third of the book, it did the thing where it's like, here's a nice little bow of tying everything up, even though we just made those ribbons out of thin air. That's how I felt about it. If you've read it and you disagree, please let me know. And I keep it because I feel like I should like it, and I just don't. And the next book, which is also very, very popular, and this one's popular here in the US, is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I also read this one, and I absolutely disliked it. Okay, hold on. You know what? We're going to do an example time. I'm opening the book, chapter 1. I'm going to read the first paragraph to demonstrate my problem with it. There is one mirror in my house. It is behind a sliding panel in the hallway upstairs. Our faction allows me to stand in front of it on the second day of every third month, the day my mother cuts my hair. Now you might be thinking, what are you talking about, Brittany? That's interesting. That sounds good. Okay, yeah, whatever. It sounds interesting. But the amount of simple sentences in this like narrative just drove me insane. And that's not to say Veronica Roth isn't a talented writer or she wasn't using simple sentences to convey a point. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying personal taste. It wasn't for me, especially when I read it a few years ago. Could I come back to it and love it? Maybe, but someone spoiled the ending of the last book, so it kind of ruined the whole series for me. So I never planned to pick it up. The second question is a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. Now I've got 3 for this. So first, I have Mark Twain, who wrote Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, all of that. I have no interest in reading any of his books. If he's one of your favorite authors, let me know. But I mean, I just don't care. Like, and not like I don't care about like Mark Twain, or I don't have any opinions about Mark Twain. I don't know anything about him, actually. I don't know. I think I saw a play of Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer or something when I was younger, and I didn't like the play, and so it kind of ruined Tom Sawyer for me in general. Or not Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. But the other 2 classics are, this one's not going to be a surprise to probably most people, but Charles Dickens. So I read A Christmas Carol, like a kid's version of it, and then I've also read Hard Times by him, and I hated both. I don't like his writing. It's not for me. And again, this is nothing against, if these are any of your favorite books, this is that's fine. These are just books that did not agree with me when I read them. And that always depends on personal circumstances and stuff. But the other one, I've never read this, and I just don't want to. It's Mary Poppins. I feel bad for saying I don't want to read it, but I don't. Like, I just don't have an interest in reading it. I'm not really a big fan of magical realism. And I'm not really a big fan of Mary Poppins. I mean, okay, that sounds harsh. I'm fine with Mary Poppins, but I didn't, like, grow up with it, really. I think I've seen it once. So it's kind of not, it doesn't have that nostalgia to me, so I just never plan to read it. But, like, it's kind of cute, so I keep it. So should I get rid of any of those books I've mentioned? Yes, I probably should get rid of all of them. I'm aware of that. I have a problem. An author whose books you have no interest in reading, or a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. So really, either a problematic author or just an author in general that you have no interest in reading their books. And for me, this is like sad for 12-year-old Brittany. It is no other than J.K. Rowling. I love Harry Potter. Don't get me wrong, I love Harry Potter. I've read it multiple times. And I love the magic. I absolutely adore it. I think it's beautiful. But because of J.K. Rowling's recent and not so recent statements, and because she still has a Twitter, I mean, she's just so many things that really have left a bad taste. No, not just a bad taste in my mouth. They've just made me straight up upset and angry and heartbroken. And there's other authors who I agree with more morally that I would like to give my money to. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a few links below, but essentially she is not welcoming to the trans community. That's the understatement of the year. She's transphobic, and I just cannot support that on any level at all. Like, that's nope. Anyway, so I don't plan to read either of these books. I kept them because they're like hardbacks. They're beautiful. If someone wants them, let me know, and I will give them to you for the cost of shipping. I'll just ship them to you for free. But like, cover the shipping, and we're good. But yeah, just let me know if you want them. But yeah, never plan to read any more of J.K. Rowling's books. And that includes the new one, the Ickbog, whatever, I don't know. I recently tried to reread Harry Potter, and it was after a lot of the statements she has made, and I couldn't even read Harry Potter the same because it was just so tainted. And I just think, I just need a break. I need a break. Possibly forever. An author you have read a couple of books from and decided that their books are not for you. So for definitely that would include Veronica Roth. I would like to give Veronica Roth another shot because I think that, maybe it was just the story for me, but it's unlikely I will. You know what I mean? Series of Unfortunate Events. I would probably read more stuff if Lemony Snicket, but like, it's like a Lemony Snicket. I said Snicket, but like that was just popped in my head as something that I was like, I'm never gonna finish that series. So a genre you have no interest in, or a genre you've tried to get into and couldn't. So for me, that would have to be one, magical realism-esque stuff. So think like a Lie Tree. What are some other examples of? Hold on, let me Google. Yeah, so like magical realism, think like Night Circus. That to me is not, I tried to get into it. I know so many people love like magical realism stuff. Burned by Patrick Ness, I read that, but I just don't love it. I very much like things to make sense and like things to add up. Like if you're going to create a world, I want it to exist and make sense within that world. And I find oftentimes with magical realism that to me it just doesn't all add up, and I find a lot of holes in it, and I don't like that. That just throws me out of the story. So that's kind of not my favorite, but there are like, I do like The Shining or Beloved, where you have these elements of like supernatural type stuff. So I'm okay with that. But another genre that I just cannot get into is adult romance. I just don't like it. I've tried multiple times to get into it, and I can't, and I don't think I want to anymore, because one, I don't really like romance anymore, but also like it's just not for me, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Why do I still have that book? I don't know. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that one. A book you have bought but will never read. That's this whole video. A series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and didn't finish. Okay, so obviously I didn't finish Divergent. I did not finish Series of Fortunate Events. This one I don't own because I just got rid of it, but I owned all of them for such a long time. But The Maze Runner, I hated that book. I threw it across the room. I can't even remember why. It seems like I would like it. It's got a maze. It's got some, like, it's like a dystopian type thing. I'm so here for that. But I absolutely did not like it, so I threw it across the room. So that's a series I never would finish. And then I think these are all series. I don't even know. But these are all books that I got because they were really popular on BookTube a few years ago, and really popular in general, it was like 10 years ago. So you have The Selection, Delirium, and The Program. And I never plan to read any of those. I keep them because I'm like, oh, I'll read them. They were really popular. They've got to be good. But I never plan to read them. The last question is a new release you have no interest in reading. And I really thought hard about this because I've been trying to read more new releases. And I am pretty interested in most new releases. I was like, I want to read them all. I'm not that picky when it comes to like new releases because I'm trying to like get more into it. But like I don't plan to read anything by like Nora Roberts, but I am trying to read like Midnight Sun or Ready Player 2, which are some recent controversial, releases. I do plan to read both of those. I actually own both. I know that they haven't gotten the best reviews, but I'm really excited to read both of them. So yeah, and that is all. Out of all these books, do I plan to get rid of any? I will get rid of the J.K. Rowling ones. If anybody wants to buy, pay for the cost of shipping, I will give them to you. And you know what? I think I might get rid of all of them except Mary Poppins, because you know what? Maybe one day. And also, if any of you love any of them, please let me know. Please let me know. And you know what? Maybe I will, do like a giveaway or something. Like, nobody watches my videos right now, but if one day someone does, I will give away all these books. If one day I get 100 subscribers. That's insane. But if I get 100 subscribers, I'll get rid of all these books. But I want to keep all good books. I don't know. I'll think about it. Let me know what you think. But let me know if I should read any of these books. If I should give them another shot. If I should just get rid of them. Let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Happy December. Gosh, can I go one video without a weird accent? No. Thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really had fun making this one. It was fun to go through my bookshelves and be like, I'm never reading that, let's be honest. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. I will see you soon. Bye. Do you ever just